Concrete crumbles like forgotten promises, and weathered walls stand as silent witnesses to stories never spoken. Along the dusty stretch of Route 30, where Nebraska's endless prairie meets forgotten highway dreams, an abandoned motel breathes with unresolved memories, its rooms holding secrets more complex than the simple structures that contain them. Architecture becomes memory's vessel, transforming mundane spaces into profound emotional landscapes, where human experiences are etched into every weathered surface and silent corridor. Generations of travelers have passed through this liminal space, leaving behind fragments of their journeys, like scattered breadcrumbs across time. Salesmen with worn leather briefcases, young couples seeking momentary escape, families navigating uncertain transitions. Each traveler contributed a layer to the motel's intricate narrative tapestry. The building absorbed their whispers, their tensions, their fleeting hopes, and unspoken disappointments, preserving these intimate moments within its decaying walls like a secret archive of human experience. Architectural decay tells a nuanced story of economic transformation and cultural shifts. This Route 30 motel represents more than simple abandonment. It symbolizes the complex rhythms of mid-20th century American mobility. Highway infrastructure reshaped rural landscapes, creating temporary sanctuaries for travelers navigating expanding economic opportunities. Each room became a microcosm of personal and collective narratives, reflecting broader societal movements and individual aspirations simultaneously captured in a single, transient moment. The prairie surrounding the motel serves as both backdrop and metaphor, vast and different, yet profoundly interconnected. Endless grasslands mirror the building's emotional landscape, seemingly empty, but rich with hidden complexity. Wind moves through broken windows, carrying echoes of conversations long silenced, memories that refuse to completely dissolve. These invisible narratives create a haunting atmosphere where past and present converge, challenging our understanding of time and human connection. Forensic observation reveals layers of personal history embedded within architectural details. A faded wallpaper pattern hints at mid-century domestic aesthetics. Rust-stained doorframes suggest repeated migrations. Worn carpet fibers record countless footsteps, each marking a moment of transition, uncertainty, or potential transformation. These physical remnants become archaeological evidence of human experiences, transforming an ordinary roadside structure into a profound emotional document. Family histories often hide in such interstitial spaces, locations between departure and arrival, between spoken narratives and unacknowledged truths. This motel represents more than physical infrastructure. It becomes a repository of unresolved personal mythologies. Generations of travelers left invisible imprints, their stories compressed into small rooms that witnessed intimate human dramas too complex for simple verbal articulation. Silence becomes a form of communication, revealing deeper emotional landscapes. Economic transitions are etched into the building's very structure. The motel's gradual deterioration mirrors broader cultural transformations, shifts in transportation, leisure, and economic opportunity that reshaped rural American communities. Each cracked window and rusted bed frame represents a moment of transition, a testament to the persistent dynamism of human experience. The building stands as a silent monument to resilience, adaptation, and the continuous reinvention inherent in American cultural mythology. Emotional archaeology requires patient, empathetic observation. One must learn to read architectural spaces not as static structures, but as living documents recording human experience. This Route 30 motel becomes a palimpsest, layers of memory overlapping, intersecting, creating a complex narrative that transcends individual moments. Each room contains multiple simultaneous stories, waiting for someone willing to listen, to understand the profound connections hidden within seemingly mundane spaces. The motel's silence speaks with remarkable eloquence. Peeling paint, fractured plaster, weathered doorframes, each element carries emotional resonance, testifying to experiences that refuse complete erasure. Physical decay becomes a form of remembrance, preserving intimate human moments that might otherwise be forgotten. The building transforms from a simple roadside structure into a profound meditation on memory, transience, and the enduring power of human connection. Ultimately, this abandoned motel represents something far more significant than architectural deterioration. It embodies the complex, interconnected nature of human experience, a testament to the profound ways physical spaces capture and preserve our most intimate narratives. Route 30 becomes more than a highway. It transforms into a metaphorical conduit of human stories, where each traveler's journey contributes to a larger, more intricate understanding of collective memory and individual experience. On a dusty stretch of forgotten highway, some stories are etched deeper than concrete, stories that whisper through abandoned walls, waiting to be heard. In the heart of rural Nebraska, where Route 30 cuts a silent path through endless cornfields, there stands a motel, not just a building, but a repository of unspoken memories that challenge everything we think we know about ordinary American landscapes. Most people driving past would see just another decaying roadside structure, another relic of mid-20th century highway culture. But this isn't just another abandoned motel. This is a place where memories aren't just stored, they're trapped, pressed between peeling wallpaper and weathered wooden frames, holding secrets that have waited decades to be understood. My journey began with a faded photograph, a black and white image tucked inside an old journal I discovered at a rural estate sale. The photograph showed this very motel, but something was different. Something felt unresolved. The image captured more than architecture. It captured a moment suspended in time, a narrative frozen between what was seen and what remained hidden. Architectural historians often discuss buildings as mere physical structures, concrete, steel, and wood assembled with calculated precision. But what if buildings are more than that? What if they're living archives, recording the emotional landscapes of human experiences? This motel on Route 30 isn't just a building. It's a silent witness to a deeply personal history. The motel itself was constructed in 1954, during an era of tremendous optimism. Post-war America was expanding, highways were becoming arteries of possibility, and roadside motels represented freedom, adventure, and the promise of something new. But beneath a gleaming narrative of progress, individual stories were unfolding, stories far more complex than any highway billboard could capture. Through months of research, interviews, and careful documentation, I began piecing together the narrative embedded within these walls. Local records revealed the motel was originally owned by the Henderson family, seemingly ordinary Midwestern proprietors who appeared unremarkable in every official document. But documents only tell part of the story. Margaret Henderson, the matriarch, was more than just a motel owner. She was a keeper of secrets, a guardian of unspoken truths. Locals remembered her as quiet, always watching, always listening, but never truly revealing what lay behind her carefully composed exterior. Her husband, Robert, was equally enigmatic, a man who seemed both present and absent, occupying a strange liminal space between community engagement and profound interior isolation. What emerged was not just a story about a building, but a profound exploration of human complexity. The motel wasn't merely a business. It was a canvas upon which personal dramas played out, transient moments of connection, desperation, hope, and profound loneliness. Each room contained echoes of conversations, of encounters that would never be fully understood. One particular room, Room 7, became the epicenter of my investigation. Something about this specific space felt different. The wallpaper, though faded, seemed to hold a different texture. Subtle marks on the doorframe suggested a history more nuanced than standard wear and tear. Professional forensic analysts who accompanied me noted unusual residual energy, a term that sounds mystical but represents measurable atmospheric variations. Local archives and personal accounts gradually revealed fragments. In 1962, a series of unexplained events occurred involving Room 7. Travelers would check in but seemed reluctant to discuss their stays. Some would leave abruptly, while others appeared profoundly changed. No criminal records existed, no official reports, just a persistent undercurrent of something unresolved. Margaret Henderson's personal journals, discovered during my research, provided cryptic insights. She wrote not in direct statements, but in metaphors, and carefully coded language that suggested she knew more than she was willing to explicitly state. One entry, dated November 15, 1963, simply read, "Concrete crumbles like forgotten promises, and weathered walls stand as silent witnesses to stories never spoken." Along the dusty stretch of Route 30, where Nebraska's endless prairie meets forgotten highway dreams, an abandoned motel breathes with unresolved memories, its rooms holding secrets more complex than the simple structures that contain them. What transforms an ordinary roadside building into a repository of human emotion? Here, between faded wallpaper and rusted bed frames, generations of unspoken narratives have accumulated like layers of dust, each telling a fragment of a larger, more profound story. This isn't just architectural decay, it's a landscape of emotional archaeology. The motel's exterior betrays little. Weathered siding, broken windows reflecting prairie skies, a parking lot where weeds now push through cracked asphalt. But within these walls, intimate human dramas once unfolded, compressed into small rooms that witnessed love, loss, transition, and quiet desperation. Imagine the travelers who passed through. Salesmen with worn briefcases, families mid-journey, lovers seeking temporary refuge. Each left invisible imprints, whispered conversations, unresolved tensions, fleeting connections that dissolved as quickly as morning mist over Nebraska's rolling fields. The motel absorbed these moments, preserving them in its very structure. Architectural spaces are more than physical constructions. They're emotional vessels. This Route 30 motel isn't merely a building slowly surrendering to time, but a complex narrative archive. Its peeling paint tells stories of economic shifts, personal migrations, and the persistent American dream of movement and reinvention. Family histories often hide in such liminal spaces. Spaces between departure and arrival, between what is spoken and what remains unspoken. Here, somewhere between the rusted bed springs and faded curtains, personal histories have been quietly preserved, waiting for someone patient enough to listen. The motel's silence speaks volumes. Each crack in the plaster, each weathered doorframe carries emotional weight, testaments to human experiences that refuse to be completely forgotten. It stands as a testament to the profound truth that landscapes remember, even when humans choose to forget. In the end, this isn't just about an abandoned building along a forgotten highway. It's about the invisible threads connecting human experiences, about how physical spaces become repositories of memory, capturing the essence of lives lived, journeys undertaken, and stories left suspended between remembrance and oblivion.